to the Kyle Files, and our resident wellness contributor, Kyle Buchanan, also host of the Feel Goodery podcast, joins us now, and we're going to dive right into the files. Here we go. First question from Kelowna. Joanne asks, will eating eggs increase my cholesterol?
Big question. Okay, so eggs and egg yolks contain cholesterol, and there's been this long-standing belief that's sort of been debunked that eating cholesterol-rich foods will raise your blood cholesterol levels, which can be associated with heart health risks. However, for the majority of people, this usually isn't the case. And the reason is kind of cool. So when you consume cholesterol from foods like eggs, your body compensates by producing less cholesterol internally because your liver does make cholesterol. Your body is also able to absorb less cholesterol from these foods and increase more cholesterol from the body. So for most of us, eggs really won't significantly impact our cholesterol numbers. But, and here's
there's always a but.
There's always a but. Some people, because of genetics, can't regulate this process as efficiently, and these people are known as hyper-responders. And hyper-responders can see a rise in cholesterol when they eat more of it. It is a smaller percentage of the population. There is testing you can do to see if this is the case, in which case you don't have to avoid eggs, but maybe it's just not every day if you are a hyper-responder. But for most of us, eggs are really nutritious. They're a great source of protein, a great source of brain-supportive nutrients in the yolk, and are absolutely okay.
All right, let's go to Calgary next. This is from Doug, who says, what are your thoughts, Kyle, on creatine? I've heard I should take it even though I don't exercise.
So creatine is an amino acid that you get in powdered form. You just add it to water. It's tasteless. When it comes to exercise, creatine is one of the most studied and supported supplements out there. It helps you replenish energy more quickly and can help you push harder and longer when you're working out. It can also help boost the appearance of your muscles, and it does this by helping water get into muscle cells and kind of plump them up. But what's cool about creatine is that we're learning more and more about how beneficial it can be beyond just working out, especially when it comes to brain health and cognitive function. So creatine can help reduce mental fatigue, especially if you're under stress, and especially if you're dealing with a lack of sleep. So if you haven't slept well and you have to perform the next day and be on, taking creatine can actually be kind of a hack that can be really beneficial. It's also been shown to help improve memory, especially for those who have lower levels of creatine, which can be more common for vegans or vegetarians, because you do get creatine from animal-based sources. But I am all for creatine, and even on non-workout days, I add it to my water.
Yeah, I feel like we should be having creatine before the show every day now.
Well, I'm like, Kyle, now you're telling me? I've been doing the show
down
for
on sleep
how long?
and I need to perform?
I should have done this before TIFF, before everyone was doing the red carpet till 11 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, our next question is from Lucas in Kingston, Ontario, who asks, I've heard, actually we're staying on creatine here, it can cause hair loss. Is that true?
So this is a big question too, and something that concerned me way back when I was first learning about this. So the idea that creatine causes hair loss really comes from one small study that found that rugby players who took creatine saw an increase in something called DHT, which is a hormone associated with hair loss. It wasn't a study on creatine and hair loss. That has not been done. Other studies, and most studies, suggest that this really is a non-issue, so you don't have to worry, and supplementing with creatine is very unlikely to cause hair loss. And we also have to remember that even without supplementing, we do consume creatine when we eat animal-based foods, and we also make it internally. So it's not this foreign substance that we're now adding as a supplement. So we have to take a grain of salt with that, but I'm all for it, and I wouldn't worry too much.
All right. Listen, if you've got a question, a wellness question for Kyle, you can DM him on Instagram at @It'sKyleB. Kyle, thanks as always. Appreciate it.
Thanks, you too.